All righty, righty, tighty. Welcome back, D-Man 50. We've got a comment from Comrade Doha. With all due respect, they're not walking away, more are sent away. You make a good point. Chris Mitchell, the Emperor, is in the house. Ray Sabite is back. Megatron, Jason Reed. That is a pretty cool tune. Free music off of YouTube called, I'll have to figure out what that band is. They're pretty cool. I agree with that statement. I'm getting some different music, definitely. We just do things on the minimalistic level here. Rad's music's getting better, funny. Old Man Odin is back. Good to see you. Ninja Please. Good to have Ninja Please in the house. Pete Abraham. Is it Pete Abram? Hey, Rad, back in the chat, Bristol, England. Good to have you back. We got Bob. He's waffling in the chat. Rebel found Bandmade Holy Grail. You are a wrench on their channel, Primal Studies. Well, good to have everybody. I wanted to talk a little bit about this, why men are walking away. Now, 98% of women in Rad's world are not recommended. I don't recommend marriage, cohabitation, or kids. I'm not against that. I don't recommend it. For me, I'm against it. There's a lot of issues dealing with relationships, as we know. We talk about this. We try to navigate life by understanding what relationships can and can't do to our lives. It's as simple as that. How men can be strong physically, financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And a lot of times, men fumble when a woman gets involved. So why are men leaving now? Outside of men are sent away, I completely agree with what the earlier commenter said, but let's talk about that. Polska, let's see, we got Chris Mitchell, Emperor's site channel is linked up. BJ Fornash is back. Good to see BJ. What's up, Rad? All the way from UK. We got a couple UK folks in here tonight. Good to see you, Rich. There's Polska's channel. And good to see everybody here. Relationships for 200, Mr. Pliskin. Good to have you. Timmy Kramer, the Forever Bachelor, is back. Women have become miserable creatures as long as they have the cell phone. Yeah, that's part of what we're going to talk about, Timmy. Ghost Pirate is back. Check out Ghost Pirate. JT is back in the chat. Good to see you. But I've got six things why men are walking away. Let's go through them real quick. No respect for man is probably my number one. No respect. They don't have respect for men. Men are toxic. They can walk all over them. They don't care about men. They don't care about the place a man holds. That's probably the one reason. They go on dates. They realize these women just walk all over them. They give up. Right? And they're like, screw this. Marty Bernard from Ireland. Good to have Marty Bernard. Love me some Irish suds. Becoming bipolar, listening to two streams simultaneously. Shout out to Dennis Sperling, Stano, and Rad. Good to see our man Big Dick Dane. Lone Wolf is back. Women have too many options. I know when a Lone Wolf is jumping in the chat, he's always got that. He's always got that frequency about him. Good to see you, brother. Number one, no respect for men. Men are toxic. Number two, the risks. What are the risks? Legal risks. What if you get that woman pregnant? What if you marry her? You have legal risks. You have family risks. Divorce. You have physical risks. You have potential to be behind bars. And you've also have the financial risk, losing everything, spending money that you don't have, getting in debt because of someone. So the risks. All right. Let's talk about the third one, high expectations, the delusion of having to maintain the happiness of this person. You have to buy her these things, provide these opportunities, protect her in this way, be an alpha, be a beta, be a Chad, be a Kevin Sales guy, all in one. The expectations are too high. They're unattainable. That's my third one. Let's see who else we got. Big M is back, and he says, I might be homeless soon. I'm walking away probably straight into the sea. Well, we want to make sure you're okay, Big M. We'll get through. You'll get through it with us. The high expectations. Let's go to the fourth one. Affordability. It's becoming harder and harder to afford a woman in today's world. They expect so much. The average man makes $60,000 to $80,000 a year. To maintain a woman is going to run you dry. So the affordability is just now becoming a game changer. You just can't afford them. That's why they're seeking OnlyFans and sugar babies and what have you, and transactional relationships. They want. So that's probably a big one right there. The Cantor PC says, saludos desde Atlanta. Nice to hear from you as well, brother. I know you're back in the channel again, and everything's good now. They're all a risk at all times, even the strangers. The nanny police state is real and absolutely pointed at men at all times. How's that for? Exactly. Appreciate that comment, Ghost. Spike Spiegel from Cowboys Bebop is my hero. He's the anti-hero. Attaboy. Start fresh, Big M, just not in the sea unless you're building nearby one. This might be a great opportunity to start absolutely over. We know that Coach Greg Adams slept out of his car for 6 months. He was homeless as well. A lot of issues come with Cohab. Jason Reed says, way too much risk is very low reward. And that's exactly what we're talking about. The reward, the juice is not worth the squeeze in the end. And men still believe that they can provide and protect in a way that the other guy couldn't, and then they end up in the same boat. She'll spend every last dollar he has and then reach for a new branch. Timmy Kramer, laying it down to Chinatown. Nerd Guy. I don't know why most of these guys think these girls can be good wives when they can't even be a good girlfriend. Take care of yourself and avoid the agony of defeat. Well said, Nerd Guy. Where are you from, brother? Slam Cave is back. Check out Slam's channel. Making them happy is something they have to do on their own before flying on my plane. And that is a tall order, Slam, isn't it? Good to see Slam. He made a video today you guys should check out. Good little clip. Number 5. When you see them, they look fake. They have those dead eyes. There's not an authenticity there. They're boring. There's nothing behind the eyes except head meds and high expectations or unreachable expectation. You know those eyes. They don't bring anything to the table except their exterior shell. Pete says it stands out now that their behavior these days shows us what we don't want, how things have changed over the years. Well said. Big Dick Dane says, another day in my self-made paradise, no strags. You are enjoying peace, quiet, and freedom, Big Dick Dane, our brother from Europe. Facts, Nerd Guy, exactly why I never married one. JT says she's got too much power. The power, yeah, I would say that as well. The power, I would probably put that in my very first one, no respect for the man. She's taken over the table. And a lot of men will allow that to be, and then they lose their manhood. There's Slam's channel. Appreciate that. Ninja says it is just young women or women over 40 likely to monkey. It's all women, Ninja. Ghost says the 1,000 C stare for 200. And finally, there's my last one, why men are walking away. These are men that have no confidence with women. They were potentially younger generation or just have always had a zero confidence. They're scared. We would probably call them incels or black pills. Weak men, very low testosterone, zero confidence, can't look you in the eyes, can't communicate how they feel, very into, video games and coffee, and have no confidence. And they have to walk away because they typically walk away into really bizarre areas of life. And they're saying a lot of these boys today, especially raised by broken families, single mothers, no father around, are now, I heard this on Greg Adams' channel, and I've kind of seen something over the internet. They're now being attracted to transformers. They say, well, I guess it looks like a woman. This is all I can get. I'm just going to go for it. So we're going to see a lot of that in the future. We're going to see the transformer movement get even bigger and relationships with these young guys because they that's all they can get. So, well, I guess it looks like one. I'm going to go for it. So those are my 6 issues, 6 reasons. Avoid the strags at all costs is Big Dick. Dane, let's see. We got Megatron. They only like what we provide with higher expectations. Very dangerous. Exactly. Let's see. We got Andrew says Andrew Tate was, wow, I did not know that, the architect. Was that just recently? I am one of those low confidence, says JJ MGTOW. Well, the only way we increase confidence is we band together and we start internally, which is building ourselves. See what we can do to help JJ MGTOW increase his confidence. I know a girl who just financed new teeth, 25 grand for new choppers. Of course, down in Arizona, Timmy. That's par for the course, no pun intended. Too many men are blindsided when women change. She just got tired of acting. Who you thought you knew never was. The chameleon for 300 Trebek. Exactly, Jason. Women my own age don't look at me, but younger women do. This makes me think women just go off men. It's a different world we live in, folks. It's a different world. Megatron, I'd say ditch the franchise altogether. Jared Legendary, John Boston is back. Good to see John. Society has removed all the shame and pressure on women to respect men or to behave morally. Zero benefits now for a man to get into a marriage. It's definitely looking like that, PH. It's not recommended. Can't compete with her inbox. Allegedly blank. Oh, wow. I'll have to check that out. Thanks for sharing, architect. Transforming is such a hustle. These are blanks, hence the shaming of straight men who don't want to play with their hardware, pun intended. I see what you're saying. Primal Studies says, only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. Men are loved for what they provide. Well, that's just life. That is just the programming on both ends. We lost Jason David Frank, the original Green Ranger, because of what she did. And men are losing, whether it's physically or non-physically. If you're going your own way, shaming language is meaningless to a strong man. Well said. I'm going to throw my comment up here. Where are we at here? There we go. I'm going to play that right now. These are my reasons. Men are walking away. No respect for men. Risks outweigh the rewards. Delusional expectations. Affordability of women is extremely high. Fake and dead inside. Men with little confidence and weak in all aspects of life. That is the reason, my friends. Tate is married with 4 kids, each with a different one. I didn't know that. Big Dick Dane says, talk about the 1000 blank stare. I like especially Billie Eilish. Man, that's an empty stare. Yes, I've seen her. A lot of empty stares. When you guys start recognizing it, you know there's nothing behind those eyes. To my brothers going through separation, divorce, when you accept it, you'll find that they did more for you, letting you go, than using your time, money, and recourses. Well said, Pete. Well said. It's a gift in the end. It truly is. What they gave you just gave you peace, quiet, and freedom. No longer do you have to lose your resources, money, energy, attention, and time. I'm a black pill. I'm short and nerdy like an incel, but I'm a monk trying to improve. Well, you're in the right place, my friend. There's no reason that you can't be having an amazing life today. Back in the cowboy days, the whores worked in the bars. Now most of the women have that blank look at them. So sad. What do they call them? The wenches? The XL Gamers is back. XL Gamer. Tell me where you're from. I can't remember. They take the kids, Pete. That's not better. They do? They do. That's the only issue with that. That's the only issue I suffered with was the kids issue. But other than that, they do give us quite a bit of peace, quiet, and freedom in the end. With respect to the kids, that's a completely different world. But that's why we're here, so we can get through these experiences. We can share with others what we did when we didn't have our kids for those days. D-Man, Western women's be wacko. I'd say a lot of them. People that are in relationships try to shame you for being single. The number one shaming tactic uses you must be gay. I would agree. Just tell them you're a mountain man. You got a squaw in every little village. These women get over 500 messages a day. Behind those empty eyes, you see the code of the matrix. There you go. And that's a good thing. If you can see those dead eyes, man, that's a red flag waving at your face. You walk away. That is one damaged piece of flesh. Game over. Hello from the UK. Good to see you, brother. Oh, the XL Gamer, Redneck Red Pill. There you go, brother, Virginia. I know that. I just didn't see your, I didn't recognize the XL Gamer. Someone can be Red Pill aware politically, but still simp hard from the Siren song. That Siren it attracts men. We love beautiful women. Right? There's nothing wrong with a beautiful, feminine woman that owns her femininity. But we're looking at why are men walking away? What is going on that more men are saying, it's not worth it. The return on investment is not there. Outside of the exterior, what's their interior bring to you? Probably not a lot. Now, are all women like this? No. And if you find that 1% to 2%, and if you want to build something, great. Go for it. Primal Studies, $25 for a mouth hug. Manage Roy from Mumbai is back. Good to see you, brother. That's all right. There's a couple guys that use different handles I always get caught up on. They do take the kids. It's just hard, but just accept, become stronger, and make it the best of your time. And I think acceptance is my number one way to move forward in life. And if you feel like JJ MGTOW was talking about needs confidence, accept that you have little confidence right now. Make that acceptance, and then your mind, psychology-wise, will go to great lengths to put new opportunities in your life to increase that confidence. Well said, Pete. Europe, when men earn big money, families are made. When women earn big money, revenue goals for Balenciaga are made. Europe, back in the chat. Good to see you. Carl says, hey, what's up, Rad? Better Bachelor, a good take on why men are opting out today. I didn't see that vid, but I think there's a lot of reasons. I just try to touch the ones that I think that are that I see. Side Alone 801, good to see you, brother. I'm a few miles up from you. We'll have to find a get together. Many strong men have lost their purposes for a beautiful woman. It's sad, but true. Beauty is now, the external beauty is being used so much that it's blinding men. And once you've lost your purpose, they are often no longer attracted to you. Yes. Once you get sick, once you lose money, once you put on weight, once you get older, once you're not competing at the level you did 20 years ago, they leave you, right? And men are figuring this out. They're watching their fathers go through divorce. They're watching their brothers. They're watching their sisters divorce their husbands. They're watching their friends get ghosted. They're watching themselves get ghosted by all ages of women. Slam K says, bring back the old Steve McQueens and the John Waynes. Attaboy. Jeremiah Johnson. Yeah, absolutely. Women need men like a fish needs a bicycle. Modern women, says Europe, want a two-in-one man, an ATM machine, and a slave. Yeah. And that's another delusional expectation. They've got to decide what is important to them. The law and the courts will favor her forever. Not playing a rigged system is winning. The only way to win the game is to not play the game. Well said, D-Man. I became sick and couldn't keep up. I was dumped overnight. Betty Saab. I know a lot of friends. I know a guy that's one of my good friends, very wealthy. He had neck surgery. His lady, he found some other dude's underwear in the room. So he knew she was out in the streets while he was recovering from neck surgery. She's too much work, says JT. Another reason. Too much work. Too many high delusional expectations. Bring back those masculine elements in Hollywood movies too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to make that again. Happy New Year to you, Lone Wolf. Red Pill is the truth. You're absolutely right, Mr. Pliskin. The Clint Eastwoods. Go ahead, make my day. Holly Weird, 2022 update. It's so weird now, Slam. Who can differ The 1,000 cock stare from a well-medicated or drugged empty stare. Maybe they are just empty-minded. Those it's hard to decipher, but I think there's a correlation between those two stares. Love is too risky because you did not know what you are getting until you are attached, and then the demons come out. Absolutely. Once that dopamine wears off. Uncle Bill warned me 40 years ago when I was 18, don't get married. Sounds like he was channeling at that time Vention as well, Timmy. Most of these women are average, and due to inflation, they don't even try to keep up their looks. A lot of them are going lazy, and reports or studies are showing women are struggling with each other. Nerd guy. I couldn't agree more. They say birth control also causes the Skittles movement within women. No man rests easy in a relationship. It's not that all women would destroy him. It's that all women can if they need to. It's women who are the leavers because they have the benefits to do so. Well said, PH. Scotty's back. Beaverton, Oregon. I've seen most marriages crumble around me, and I've seen firsthand how much it screwed up everything in those people's lives, and it's not for me. Well said. And check out Scotty's channel that D-Man just put up. He does some good content. Good to have you, brother. I responded to your email, I think. Yeah, I did. Men need women like a submarine needs a screen door. Submarines and screen doors for 300, Trebek. It's easy for women to file divorce, but when a man needs, they are shamed and pushed behind bars. It's definitely lopsided, isn't it? Be sure to hit that like. Now it's all good. Appreciate that, Primal. She's for the streets, apparently. Slithering snakes. Link is here. Everyone's gone woke in Hollywood. And what's people that are going woke are going broke. How about James Cameron and Avatar now? There was too much violence in his film. Men are too toxic. I mean, what a wacko. Entry fee to marriage is cheap. Exit risk and fees for men are massive. You got it. Shout out to Primal Studies channel. Check out all of our good content creators in here. They say women in college hardly use the degree, and some of them just go to mess around until they can lock a blue pill down. Yeah. KJ Dorita. Let's talk about the lack of respect. That's my number one. No respect for the man. Good to have you. Where are you from? It's funny how lesbians have the highest domestic blank rates, yet it's never raised in the mainstream media. Yeah, feel sorry for the wife of the butch lesbian. Marriage, or the butch lesbian for the wife. Marriage is part of the Skittles movement, but many bridal shops are closing. I would agree. Odin says 18 years and free, don't need the head meds or the headaches. Men can't be bothered because women now have no value but for casual sexy. She make a sexy time. Men are very easy to keep happy, but when you remove the very basic need of respect, it's time to walk away. And that comes very quickly now, folks. Well said, Jason. Well said. John Boston says, have not seen one divorce lately that didn't have a social media connection. Bingo. I agree with that statement 100%. All of these broken relationships literally are coming because social media, 99% of them. I was asked to drop my diabetes medication by my doctor. Working towards my health has helped me get rid of medication. What about you, Rad? Good for you. Best thing you can do to get out of the diabetic world is to fast. You keep those glucose and blood sugar very, very stable. A man can come home from working in the coal mine 10 hours. What's for dinner, honey? She replies, make your own damn dinner. That's where it's going. That's where it's going. That's where it's been the last 10 years. These days around Christmas, as I fall asleep, I listen to Sifu. Next day, I hear the rest. Right from where I last remember his voice. R.I.P. Absolutely. He was a good dude. Good guy. Always was part of all different chats. Shout out to Sifu's channel. You guys go check it out. D-Man's already ahead of me. I left one side of the country to start over because of a lady and the courts. We know what that's like. We're here sharing our stories with each other. You can do it. We've all done it. Women have become more masculine and less feminine. Well said, Patriots One. And men have become more feminine and less masculine. Society didn't crumble when the masculinity is obliterated. We have to I always bring up Rome. Look at Rome. The Skittles took over Rome. Butch, Butch lesbian for 300, Trebek. Butch lesbian divorce for 350. James Cameron is full of it after making Terminator 1 and 2. Tons of he's an idiot, Slam. The guy's probably he's low T. He's been pegged. Imagine not respecting the people who built civilization. There seems to be a lot of delusion, Big M. You're absolutely right about that. Fact says D-Man, backed by Big Daddy government into government. Funny thing is that most men are kind of women by nature, but nowadays women like drama and jerks. They don't respond positively to kindness. How stupid, Giant Squid. They don't. I mean, again, if you guys are, and there's guys that here on dating apps, I'm like, if you meet a gal, don't be nice. That puts you're gonna be tossed out mentally in 2 seconds. Be an ass. 40 years of 3 kids from 2 men. I am not settling down with a bump. I have standards, Betty Saab. That seems to be absolutely. That seems to be that. Lorenzo Lamas, Scotty Lorenzo Lama. Jeremy Bailey from UK back. Hope you're well. I'm off work for a week with a chest infection. I'll help you get better. Hopefully it's not COVID that you have. But get better, brother. Take a lot of Gatorade. My doctor told me that you're not getting married to stay happy. I said yes to him. Good for you, Mount Joy. Let's see, Jeremy. Need to rest up. Yep, just rest. Binge watch some good. Watch some old Rambos and Rockies. That'll get you pumped up. If Skittles are failing at relationship, doesn't it mean that women were the problem all along? Women are promoting divorce as a graduation thanks to Tia Mowry and the first husband as a shorter guy. Well, if they can't make it work with each other, I would think that's a very strong argument for what you said. Hard times make tough men make good times make weak men. Weak men make hard times. We are heading for tough times. And that's why we do these things. This is why we are supporting each other. We're going to be going through tough times. John Boston, I had a 45-year-old woman tell me, I'm not settling. I know my worth. For a second, I thought she was listening to her ad stream. Of course she's not settling. She's a princess. Women have a high body count, think they can have power, but have the lost ability to pair bond. Some power that is. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Women being with multiple men does not help them mentally or physically or emotionally or spiritually. Subliminal Vibrations is back. Good to see you, brother. You have to be very difficult, like George Costanza when he told that girl he was a bootlegger. You got to do exactly what George does. Do a 180. Only land wills and single moms and dating apps and simps validate them. Well, they can't get a lot of these guys, and these are normal looking guys. They can't get women, so they're settling. They're settling with heavies. They're settling with Skittles, non-binies, the emotionals, the feminists, whatever they can do to just have a woman validate them. Divorce is in. Divorce is the in thing, man. You're damn right. At 265 pounds, 10 tattoos, body fully pierced, putting frozen chicken nuggets in oven for her children, talking about her net worth. You know, I think a good value of a woman is a woman that gets behind her man, that does the things that she's supposed to do, that loves to do those things, that loves to be the co-pilot, that wants to provide and protect in her own way the relationship by being feminine, by doing the things men desire. She'll get everything. It's not a hard recipe. Take care of your man and you'll have a wonderful life for the most part. Now, there's a lot of douchebag dudes out there, but I'm saying for the most part, a man that feels appreciated, wanted, and loved, respected, will give that woman everything. Mysterio, I think Rad is being blank banned from time to time. Oh, absolutely. I think I grew 10 subscribers in a month. Good to see Mysterio from Winnipeg. Relationships fail because they take work. Women are lazy and can get attention anywhere, so there's no need to even try when you can pick up someone with ease. Scotty side, laying it down in Chinatown. That is absolutely, and I don't think about that, but I knew about that. That is absolutely correct. Why work at a relationship? She can go get another one. You, my man, have to work. Damn well said, Scotty. I owe you a pint for that one. I find 40-plus single women who have not had kids have little dogs. Single moms have 2 big mastodon dogs that won't bite your leg off. I go on these walks. I did a walk today, 38 degrees, sun was shining, little snow on the ground. Lots of women with dogs, big dogs that friggin' rip them off the leash. They can't control the dogs. But I wonder how many of these women divorced their husband, how many have left, how many are feminists? And I'd probably say it's probably a significant number. Self-involvement for men caused by women getting rid of you is a wonderful gift when you get to the grips of how free you really are. And I think, Pete, a lot of guys don't understand how free they can be without these issues. Promoted by the Matrix. Well said, Slam. I agree with that. AZ's back. No kids and still badly shaped. Well, again, what you do today will have an effect on your future, right? Nerd guy? Everything they say is an inversion. The key word is settling down is settle. Men don't settle. You are the prize, says Ghost. Well said, brother. When I pushed my standards, they started shaming me. I decided to get rid of them. I'm sure you didn't lose anything, Manoj Roy, by getting rid of those straggles. Happy Christmas to you and Happy New Year coming up. I saw Dino Chicken Nuggets in the store. Did you see Tombstone Pizza right next to it? And some Captain Crunch. Isaac WP, I'm glad I'm able to catch one of your live stream. I am from Germany, so usually I'm asleep when you start. Oh, good to have you, brother. Appreciate our European brothers. I have a Miele vacuum that I've had for 20 years. I did have some BMWs, but they're just over wonderful cars, but over-engineered. The slightest $3 capacitor will take out an $8,000 instrument cluster. Who the hell ever came up with a starter marriage? Exactly. I mean, who would even do that? The amount of energy and resources to have a starter husband only to do it again. Just check the Tate story. He and his brother have been blanked in Romania. Sounds like trumped up. Yep. You know what's happening. They want to take him out because he's speaking the truth. I came across your channel when I was in a very dark place after my girlfriend of 4 years left me. You saved me from making a fatal mistake. Good for you. This is why we do it, Isaac. It's why we're here for everybody. You share your story, even in the chat. We're glad that you are still walking this great earth. Chasing Lay should be the last thing on least one's priority if you awaken post-marriage. That's an issue I have with some of my favorite creators. They seem to have now gone from MGTOW to Chasing Lays and junior college gals. It's like they're putting that aspect as part of their purpose. But I don't judge. It is a throwaway world today, and I work way too hard to throw it all away, says D-Man. Nerd guy, I've seen so many BMWs out there, badly made women. If you guys know, when I go into a store, there may be one or two women who are worth talking to. Well said, John. But just a few years behind you, Rad, approaching 50, I realized that this mess with what used to be the opposite sex won't be corrected in my lifetime. Thank God I never wanted a family deep down. Well, you're going to be 50, you understanding it. Yeah, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's like, it's not going back. People say, well, what if they change it? It's not going back. Programming's too deep. My worst nightmare is being trapped in a box room with Michael Bolton on repeat while I celebrate his whole catalog. What movie's that from? I know this girl whose husband cheated on her. After the divorce, she goes out, gets 2 pit bull dogs. I'm not going near those things. No. Although if you do get bit, I think you can get significant damages from a lawyer. Most men need to respect what you relate in your book. Seek internal validation, not external. And that's what we do. We're here for everybody. Guys, the only way we get out of this mess is internally and understanding. Isaac, hang in there, man. Keep working on yourself. Good comment from Jeremy there. Rad, any financial tips for being single? Stay out of debt. Stack money. Live minimalistically. Do not buy expensive things. We should do a show on that. There's a lot of good financial guys in here. John Boston, Carl, Mysterio, Timmy Kramer. We got some good folks. I find it weird most women are in a worse physical condition than their male counterparts of the same age and sometimes older. Yeah. I'm 50. I've seen a lot of 50-year-old women that are in horrible shape. It's very simple. See them for what they are. Then no more sexy times. $5 Gia, $5. You're absolutely right. AZ, I think I wrenched you. Didn't I wrench you? Tombstone Pizza. I have to take a look. I did see Capri Sun. Oh man, it's the Kool-Aid ones. They got the Kool-Aid ones, you know, the little plastic, like little bottles of Kool-Aid with the twist top. I had a 740. The parts were way over engineered. I had 3 BMWs. Love the cars. The only way I would ever buy a BMW again is brand new, which I never buy brand new cars, and 10 miles before it goes out of warranty, dump it. I had a friend tell me this marriage was a starter marriage. Now he cries daily over alimony from that starter marriage. You can't fix stupid, John. You just can't. Betty says, I'm ready to start my next chapter. Good for you, brother. D-Man, Lincoln, for the guys that need it, that lifeline, find your peace. And if there's anybody in this channel that needs help and struggling, you can always reach out to anyone on here in the comments, as well as send me an email, rebelagainstdefeat@gmail.com. You're absolutely right, nerd guy. I celebrate his whole catalog. Now, what do you say you do here? What do you say you do here? I love Office Space. It's the best. I'll put strychnine in your guacamole, senor. Senor, another margarita. I'll put strychnine in your guacamole. Bill said I could stay in this area all day. But he said I could play my music at a reasonable level. All right, check out AZ's channel. Rad Soy Society validates the ladies far too much. That's why they aren't worth investing in. Attaboy, AZ. Cool Burst, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, with the Capri Suns and Dino Chicken Nuggets. Rusty Rivers. Good to see you, brother. Laughing it up. We're gonna need a little bit of happiness and fun. I had the Office Space experience at a few jobs. I did. When I worked at an inside sales job, my daughter was first born, 24 years ago. Me and my buddy would go play ping pong in the rec room, in the lunchroom, and then I'd call his phone, he'd call my phone. So we were getting phone time for an hour and a half. My boss was like, you guys have great phone time this week. And we just looked at each other. Jeremy Bailey, thanks, brother. That means a lot. I feel like YouTube is the only form of social media where guys like us can link up. Am I wrong? No, you're not. No, you're not. This is where we share our experiences and help one another. They kept moving my office like the one guy. Dude, but Bill said I could play my music at a reasonable level. Nerd guy, there you go. Check out Rusty Rivers' channel. Thank you for putting that up. I sent BMWs not just a little hassle than a modern Stag. They're less of a hassle than a modern Stag. I see what you mean. Absolutely. I talked to the engineers so that I take what the engineers say. And well, why can't they do it themselves? Because I'm a people person. I talked to I love that movie. Do things that are difficult for yourself and stop trying to look for dopamine in people. Find your own, says Slam Cave. And that, by the way, Slam Cave did a video today. I don't know, it was 4 minutes based on exactly that, chipping away. So check out, we need everybody on Slam's channel as well. Good stuff. Billy the Goat is back. Check out Billy the Goat's channel. See, D-Man's way ahead of it. He's always on par. Let's see. Rich says, a woman said men have lost their place in the world. My reply, men have always been in place. It's women that are out of place, trying to be like a man. Yep. The shaman is in full gear. Capri Sun was a Gen X. Yeah, I think I remember having it there when I was going in grade school. Did you claim that 3-pointer, Rusty? All right. I really like your channel. I feel you are open and honest about your experience, and I find this very valuable. Says Realist Vision. Thank you for sharing. Well, appreciate you being here, man. Tell me where you're from. Women want men to walk away, so we are. Careful what you ask for, ladies. Well, earlier in the chat, Billy, I talked about some of the reasons of why I believe men are walking away. New Year will be peaceful, a 3-hour gym workout, and some nice food. I'm thinking a little bit of sushi is on par for New Year's Eve. D-Man Fitty, putting up Slam's channel. Check out Slam's channel, folks. I want to see him get to 100 subscribers quick. Young or old, women are a terrible option for the self-actualized man. Yes, Men can see a man on his purpose and a man that understands this, that navigates his life and has had experience. Now, we don't all just grow up believing this. We've either gone through an experience, a breakup, a divorce, a marriage that didn't work, infidelity, hypergamy, what have you, or an uncle like Timmy Kramer's uncle tells him. But we all have to experience this on our own. That's why you cannot recruit anybody. If a guy's I've got tons of guys I know that are going through horrible times and they still believe in the fantasy. They still believe their ex after 3 tries is going to come back. Again, making excuses for bad behavior. D-Man 50, absolutely right. Slam's been good. Everyone's been great. Going back to work, Happy New Year's to you as well, brother. So those are the reasons, right? You look at no respect for the man, no respect for the place of the man. The man is toxic. Number 2, the risks outweigh the rewards, the legal risks, the financial risks, the physical risks. The high expectations and the delusion that is too high. You can't meet their expectation. They're just too high. You have to be 6'7", 6-pack, $6 million in the account. You have to look like this. You have to be this perfect. All of the delusion. You've got the affordability issue. Women are very expensive today to deal with. They want lots of things, expensive dinners. They want their nails done. They want the physical beauty. They want the trips. They want everything. You've got the fakeness. What's behind those eyes is nothing. The dead stare. Men are seeing women with basically empty vessels. And what does she bring to the table outside her exterior? Nothing. Well, she does bring certain things. That 98% of women would probably bring frustration, difficulty. You can never do enough to make her happy or even be part of that equation. And finally, a lot of these men are forced out because they have no confidence. They're weak. Probably raised by a single mom or a father that wasn't existent, or a crappy father, right? There are dick fathers out there. So there you go. Big Dick Dane says, yesterday I realized that I have used so little money these last 3 months that January is a free ride with the fixed expenses. I'm an old school, so I go to the ATM withdraw and pay mostly cash. You are old school, Big Dick. Paying with the Benjamins. But what do they use in Denmark? I'm in shape to the gym 4 times a week. I don't know why women choose dad bod here in the Philippines. Jordan Bueno. Good to see Jordan. And Jordan has given us some interesting perspective on Filipino women. He says they're very similar to what we're all experiencing, or he wouldn't be in the chat. Vanessa says, I always remind myself that these girls look good, and as good as they may look, they are already someone else's headache. Well said. And remember, that girl, that hot girl, was once someone else's girlfriend, and he probably got tired of her. If it blank floats, or better to rent it. Primal Studies. Most women still want to pay for dinner and groceries. The man pays at least 80%. You're well said. That's the reason we call them a problem, says Manoj Roy. They can be problematic. We get conditioned by the mainstream of the so-called, so how is it supposed to be? Then we wake up and we recondition our kids and ourselves what we learn from our experiences and each other. Yeah, guys, we all have to go through. I had to go through it. Luckily, I was raised in a mom and dad with a strong dad, but I still suffered a blue pill conditioning. I still simped at certain times in my life. I thought that's what I had to do to make the woman stay with me. And now I realize that I did it all wrong, but I had to go through it, or I wouldn't be here, or I wouldn't be getting better later. My second half of life, I'm in the beginning of the third quarter, is going to be amazing. Brad, I walked by a nail salon. There were about 30 women getting nails done. I would say less than 10% were not overweight. Oh, that's funny. I love to walk. I should come out to Boston. We just walk around and just stare. That'd be fun. You guys have to see what John did to his ex-wife's lawyer in the courtroom. Not a beautiful woman. Yeah, there's not a lot of beautiful women in my book anymore. I would recommend that you guys should watch Patrice O'Neill's Black Phillip series, says Seattle Kid. Yeah, Patrice was great, man. Rest in peace to him. Tell me what part of Seattle. You in Issaquah? Eric Zombro. Happy New Year to you, Eric. Eric's an OG on many channels. Good to have you, brother. Timmy Kramer says, the feminine happy woman has become damn rare. just like the Furby that is very rare now. Too many women raised in single mother households perceiving their fathers having abandoned them results in damaged women. Yeah, and you can't fix them. If you're dealing with a woman that feels damaged because the father left them, you can't deal with them. You don't want to deal with baby daddy issues, unfortunately. Old saying from a wise older man, no matter how pretty she is, there's a man who is sick of her. There is a man that is sick of her. I talked about that. I know a libtard guy who thinks the Philippine women he's talking to online wants to marry him. Oh, sure. A 28-year-old is in love with a 64-year-old. What is wrong with him? Delusion, John. Met someone today who's 40 and married their high school sweetheart. They have 5 kids. They love each other to death, according to him. One of those rare marriages. There are rare. There's a 1 to 2%, but there are rare marriages that occurs. Probably their upbringing, religious, cultural, something like that. There are feminine women, but because they have smartphone, it changes the game. They got a smartphone. They got men in there. Chris Mitchell is going to be with Iridium Crush. Let's check it out tonight. You can only hear F you so many times until you start saying F you back. Jason Reed. Well said. Isaac says, I grew up in a household of women, 2 sisters raised by a single mom. So I would always try to see the good women, and I love my sisters. But your experience tells a different story. And there are exceptions to the rule. There are exceptions, and even with a stepdad that has raised a family that aren't his kids. There are exceptions, but it's not recommended in a lot of ways. I appreciate you bringing that up. Women with shame and beauty is called a beautiful woman, but women with no shame and only beauty is called a problem in my book. This is marriage. We use kroner as currency. Yes, old school, but the government in the the kroner, gotcha. They want us to get rid of cash money. Will probably happen within the next 10 years. Then we are monitored cradle to grave. Yep. That's the way it's going. Eric Zombro is the chess champion. Attaboy. I like playing chess. Cool, Eric. I will moderate my wine intake. Rad, the reality. What's the reality? The reality is you got to understand your worth. And it's not validated by anybody else. My ex-wife tried pulling that with my daughter. She told them I left them. I've heard that. I never left my daughter. Right? Check out Iridium Crush's channel. Eric says he purchased a bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon. Which brand? That's a heavy grape right there. Did you guys ever see Sideways? Funny movie as well. I don't drink no effing Merlot. I think he drank, no, was it Shiraz? No, he was in Pinot. Smartphones are the beta male's peril. Pete Abraham. And I take it even further. If a woman has an Apple Watch as well, I see that as a red flag. Rather, the reality, women only bring a dwindling coon dumpster that has less value than the table the carpenter built. Couldn't agree more. KTRK is back. Reality, you are a number. Well said, brother. Yep. Subscribe to Kush. Rad, AKS, and Kush are having chess streams if you are ever interested. D-Man Fitty. Eric, my ex tried that with my kids. She said I left. We had a gal in our case, and I made the gal tell the kids in front of him I didn't leave. They will lie. Attaboy. They do lie. I don't know what it is. It's not lying. That's how they feel in the moment because you were abusive and controlling. Eric Zombro, Robert Mondavi. Ooh, Robert Mondavi. What I find interesting about wine is the history of wine and how it's made. I think that's cool. There is something not right about the Adam and Eve story. How did the original man allow himself to be deceived by a woman? Well, Rich, if you go back and look at Adam's first wife, which was Lilith, Lilith. She did not submit to Adam and he married. That's from the Jewish folklore that Adam married Lilith. She didn't submit and then he married Eve. He simped twice. That's the only thing we can talk about. That programming goes all the way back to the beginning of time. Single mamas telling lies on daddy. Yeah, that's how they get ahead. Who's going to believe a woman or who's going to believe a man or a woman if the woman says something? They're always going to believe the woman. The man is always guilty. Dare that happy be married man to check that DNA, says Ghost. Big M says strong men are illegal. See, it appears to be that way, Big M. Now I can watch and comment, says Mysterio. Not just an Apple Watch, but watch out for Adam Apples. That's a good one, Billy. Check out Billy's channel. My daughters were older. They just didn't think it was. I did see my daughter on Christmas. She did come over, and she did give me a gift. I thought that was very good, but it's a very awkward interaction. But who knows? Like Costanza says, it's not a lie if you believe it. There you go. George Costanza for 300 Trebek. Happy New Year to you, KTRK. I got sent off work for blank contact by a female patient. It was dismissed. Oh, geez, they'll say anything. You look at them wrong, they'll say. If you say hello, it's almost as though you need a constant, like a body camera, like the police have now. They have those body cameras that go 24/7. It's almost as though that's what we're getting to, Mysterio. We're going to be exactly in that situation where we're going to have a camera and a recorder on at all times. Thanks, Rad gentlemen. You are the best. Never let anyone tell you any different. Have to go help my son with his Lego set. Peace out to you, brother. I just got my boys. I always get them Legos for Christmas. They do now, the big Legos, but they love it. Let's see. Lilith is a Babylonian Sumerian culture as well. She, according to lore, was created at same time as Adam and fell equal. The Bible is fascinating. But what is not in the Bible is even more so. Yes. So go read about Lilith, Adam's first wife that thought she was equal and didn't submit. Boy, could that have been the issue that we see today? So if Adam, our great, 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 whatever millionth father, couldn't do it, what makes you think that we can? And I believe the fantasy that I could build a family and grandkids and white picket fence, and I have a wife that made me cornbread and chili and prime rib on Sunday and salmon on Tuesday and was always there whenever I need it, in the bed, outside of the bed. I was mistaken. But now that I know that, I don't have to get back in the same situation. New Dave Kassad, greetings to you. Let me know where you are from. Once again, I will take Butch lesbians for 300 Trebek. I like it how Jordan Lee Peterson says it. You are lesbian? I am only 27 and still long for female companionship. It's hard for me to accept their nature and the fact that I have to make it through this life without this fan. Any advice? Well, you can accept the fact. You can find that 1% to 2% out there. I'm not against hanging out. I'm not against, if you find a 1% to 2%er, go for it. But you got to vet them and you got to be on your purpose. But you need to understand that 98% of these women are not recommended. And if you get back with them, you're going to repeat the same shit. We are in the beginning stages of Big Brother, 1984. Brotherhood, stay strong. Rad, your powers will guide us. This contingency of men in this chat, and if women are listening, are strengthening us. Go and listen to other chats, comment, video. Be part of the group. There's strength in numbers. There's no Field of Dreams, Kevin. I would agree with that statement. It was a good movie, though. Manasseh says at 30. Well, you guys have to understand something. You either can accept the reality or you can believe the fantasy. And the fantasy, I see it with my kids, my 2 boys, even the gals that are their ages. I see it with my daughter, who has Botox and lips, and she's in her early 20s and is in programmed by the Skittles, the Transformers, that men, and there's no respect for men. You can accept reality or you can believe the fantasy. Lilith and Jezebel says, Rusty Rivers. And don't forget Delilah. I think that white packet life is a lie. Yes, it took me a while to figure that out, Mysterio. Eric Zombro, do we link Eric's channel as well? Lilith Israel. I hope you tell a story one day, Rad, of what happened. I think it would really help. We're all here for the same reason. I do have a story on my channel, Pete. It's called Who is Rad? Go look for it. It's like an 8-minute video. The white picket fence was a dream made for simps. What keeps the wheel turning? Bridal stores, jewelry stores, rom-coms, The Notebook, A Walk in the Sunset, Legends of the Fall. The wheel keeps turning because of that. See, my daughter is pressured heavily in the Navy to try for harder combat jobs. Interesting, Eric. Thanks for helping spread awareness. Good to have you, Jorn. Jorn's been on these chats quite frequently. Good to see you. The blank bots, end of story, just make sure you can. Zeros and ones. Yeah, we're going that way. Today, love and marriage. It's not the same anymore. Today's love and marriage. You know, the Love Boat was a show in the 80s. Delilah, ain't cutting my hair. No. Ain't going to take out my gauges. Ain't going to stop getting tattoos. I've accepted the reality, but I have so many decades to go. Biology is a bitch. Well, you have to understand that dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin are guiding men today. And those are not good leaders to guide your life. Those are just chemicals. Who is rad? Yeah, that's what I did. So check that out, Pete. Oh yeah, sure they're equal until a tire needs changing, a bill needs paying, needs blank, a barbarian needs X. Yep. The equality only exists until it doesn't. How about that? There's a white picket fence and a fence in front of the chicken ranch in Nevada. Timmy Kramer laying it down to Chinatown. The powers that are trying to shadow ban rat on my phone or the cell phone is having problems. Yep. How about go for the sip? Oh, he was a total. I liked Isaac and Doc. Funny. Those are funny. Brad, I have to say, women our age who blew up their families regret it. And I think they get so depressed and end up with autoimmune diseases. I've seen. I think you're right, John. I think you're absolutely right. Disease is a mind not at ease. But then again, then they won't go. They look like they feel like that, but will never accept accountability. They always come back to you were abusive and controlling. Since 1996, 90% of diamond stores, wedding venues, and caterers are no longer in business. Marriage strike is working figures from Dick Cheese. Well, it doesn't. It's not what it was. People are realizing that 50 years of divorce. Every man in this chat and or woman has been through or seen the effects of divorce, even on a family member or in their own family. The Bible says it's a terrible thing for man to be alone, but in this time, it is essential. It's not only essential, it's protecting for men. That's why we say no cohabitation, no marriage, and no kids. We don't recommend that because of what the fallout can be. Absolutely. 82 years old, and Pele won 3 World Cups, greatest soccer player ever. They haven't figured out their own mortality. And women never admit it, Pete. You're absolutely right, my friend. You're absolutely right. Why? That's called, they have to deflect and blame. If you were the only person in Desert Island and you had to survive, why would you need a lady? I think friendship with like-minded men is important for men's health. I do believe that. And I think that being together in communities and meetups and channels like this, I think that helps men. I think we have to remove what the woman part is. What we thought that it once was is not true reality. MJSP 49, since chivalry, gynocentrism, and feminism mandatory, it requires men to follow, to make effort, to make sacrifice. Men are being programmed to do everything for them, but ladies don't do the same thing. Yeah. That would be called a servant in some areas of the world. My ex wanted me to move in with her, but I chose not to. She broke up with me months later. Anyway, I would have been homeless if I decided to move in. Good for you, brother. Again, if anybody here buys in to live with a woman, do not live in their house. They will kick you out. Salute to Site Sifu. I can accept the fact of blank dolls and or pocket blanks over craze lays and LTRs. Rather pay for lays when I have a surplus. There's other ways that men can, relieve themselves. Whatever floats your boat. We don't judge here. Great channel, The Lone Wolf Feel with a Pack. To check that out. You guys have been good. I'm going to cut it off here. Keep on taking care of one another, right? Anthony Dream Johnson, while having good intention, has zero clues of laws and divorce law. He would be signing a different tune if he went through the ringer. Again, we don't recommend it, but even the best can fall. I wonder if men from age 50 to 90, what would they say about their experience with women in an LTR or a short term? What would they say about love and marriage? I would love to know. I don't think it's going to be a positive. Look at men who are in relationships or marriage as a servant, peasant, fans, bodyguards, a human ATM. We are a walking wallet, MJ. I've noticed that when a woman goes to the hospital, she has to tell everyone on social media. Oh, yeah. It's all about attention. There's still folks that believe in the 1% to 2%. I am not a fatalist, so I believe that there is a 1% to 2% of women that are decent women, but they're extremely rare to find. Megatron women should have no control over us. I would agree with that statement. We should have control over ourselves. Old man Odin, peace out, brother. George said, O'Queef, love you, Rad. Love you too, brother, for being here. I see too many often in my gym. Men competing with each other and hating each other to get women's attention. Well said. You guys have been great. And I'll read one more here by Dick Dane. Man's choices, most likely short term, are white picket fence. More likely prison yard, face long term. I'm out. All right, everybody. Have a great time and stay safe. Happy New Year.